This is what happens. You could be playing the best player in the world. You could be up against Sonic Fox, and you're just getting mixed. You barely lose a close set. Some guy replies in the comments and is just like, you know that his character, like, you tried hitting him? You just win the matchup if you hit him. It's just unbelievable the things people type into their fucking browsers and just don't think about it. Somebody commented on my match versus KV, you know, person who's beaten Evo champions, top 8, lots of tournaments, kind of late, but Soul wins this matchup easily in this game. Whenever Kai charges a charge stun edge, you can reaction Grand Viper and get a free counter hit combo. Oh, you win the matchup easily because one move will lose to one other move. I cannot believe how common this is in fighting games. Have you guys ever asked someone for advice? Like, you know, you're like a Tekken player and you're like, hey, I play Lily. What am I looking for when I fight against Kazuya? And they're like, oh, you play Lily? Yeah, just sidestep the hell sweep. You got him. It's easy. And you just like, what about literally every other move in the game? This kind of matchup advice is so common in fighting games. You can just poke a hole in it so fast. What happens if he just never does charge stunnage? What happens if what they told you to do is difficult or it doesn't work every time? Someone in my comments literally today wrote an essay about Guilty Gear. Was like, you know, Sajam, in this matchup, your issue is that this thing happened and you were talking about this and you really don't, you need to understand the ebb and flow. And when fighting games happen, sometimes you make decisions and, you know, they don't work, but you shouldn't abandon those decisions because they might work and blah, blah. And then right below it wrote, hey, why don't you combo 6P into DP in this game? That doesn't work in this game. I don't know if you know that. You wrote me a 9-sentence paragraph and then asked me to do something that doesn't work in this game. The best example of this is when I was learning Street Fighter. I asked someone, I said, how do you stop this move from this character? This move is like really good. And I won't say who it was. He was a Rose player. I'll make up a name for him. Let's say his name was Cuban Dude. I was like, what am I supposed to do in this? And he said, just backdash. And I was like, yeah, but my character's backdash doesn't escape it. Like, what am I in there? He's like, you should just pick Rose and backdash. I don't know what else to tell you. And he walked away. I don't say this just to make fun of people. I say this because it is actually worth thinking about. Fighting games are complex. It is almost never the case that the answer is just use the EX when she pressed, dude. This is a real person told him. He was fighting Idom, the best lore player, Capcom Cup champion. Just use the EX when she pressed. Dude, have you ever just thought to yourself, how do I beat Idom? Just use the EX when she pressed. Why didn't I think about that? I think I've played like 3 Evo finalists in sets in the beta or something like that. Like just incredibly good fighting game players. And the advice is, Sajam, just use the EX when she pressed, dude. Did you know that if Balrog is at the perfect spacing and Laura throws clap, you can sweep it? Just always stand at the perfect place and she'll always do clap and then you can always sweep it. That's the entire matchup. Nothing else will ever happen. How many times did you guys hear this in your Guilty Gear lives? Oh, Hammerfall? I know it's unsafe on block. You can just throw it on reaction. Just throw it when it's coming at you. People said that for literally the entire lifespan of Exerd. Every time you fought Leo, you'd be like, oh, have you tried just throwing Berserker Slash every time? Just throw Berserker Slash. Bro, you can throw Berserker Slash in the new game, and the throw is on one button. And it's still fucking hard. You still get counter hit trying to do it sometimes. People talk like it's so finite, you know? They're just like, oh, didn't you know that only this happens? Like, once you throw Berserker Slash, the game just goes, it's like the fucking death screen in Metal Gear Solid. Fighting games are hard. I want you guys to understand that. Fighting games are complex. Matchups are complex. It's the same thing as when people watch professional fighters, right? They watch like professional MMA fighters. They watch like boxing matches. And they're like, bruh, I know that this is the greatest fighter of all time. But if you put me in a ring with him, I got his ass. You keep losing fights to this guy? Have you tried hitting him? You know, that was the worst part about Strive is like I was playing it on PS5 and people would come in and be like, how's the game? And I'd be like, great. They're like, you playing on PS5? I'm like, yeah. They're like, go fuck yourself. Where did that come from? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I just pre-ordered one on Amazon. I got lucky. I don't know. I had someone waiting in the bushes with binoculars, eyeing the Amazon stock. He told me when they went up and I pre-ordered it. Why don't you guys have someone waiting in the bushes? I got someone on deck. He's got the good eyesight.